Well, this was kind of a lousy week. It was really nice the week before, and it's gonna be like 100 degrees next week, but this last week just rained the whole time. Ended up canceling my camping trip, which was a real bummer. And I just didn't feel great in general. Had a little bit of a sore throat and a little bit of a cough. I don't know if it's caught something or if it's just allergies. It's been weird this year because we didn't really have a very wet winter. So there's a lot of things blooming early and heavily. And so as far as allergies, I've been pretty miserable this year. But yeah, I was just feeling all kinds of out of sorts this last week. Just really kind of bummed out. And I realized a couple of things from it. But before I unpack all that, I just want to talk a little bit about the things I said I was going to focus on. So there were 3 things creatively that I was going to dig in on. One of them was music, one of them was painting, and one of them was tarot cards. So as far as the music, I am wrapping up the last project that I was working on, and I've been listening to it in the car and when I go on walks and just kind of honing and fine-tuning everything, and I'm real close. I think either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how these next listens go, I'm going to upload them to the distributor, and that'll be that. As far as the paintings, I ended up making 4 tiny paintings of space cats. They all turned out pretty good, I think. They all have a little bit of a different personality. Tried to vary them a lot. So yeah, they turned out pretty fun. I've got some new ideas for the next thing I want to paint, so that's that. As far as the tarot cards, I've continued to do the card a day sort of thing to kind of familiarize myself with the deck. And I usually do a little spread for myself about once a week. There's one card I pulled a couple of days ago, and it really just sort of resonated with me. And this is the 10 of Wands. Like all the cards, they have a bunch of different meanings and context, but when I saw the card, I knew very much what it meant for me last week. And that is basically you are carrying too much stuff. So I was just sitting here on my couch. I was bummed out that I didn't get to go camping. I was bummed out about the weather. I was bummed out that I didn't feel good. But there was something else that was just like weighing on me. And I did a lot of like reflection and a lot of soul searching, and I realized that in my new part-time life, I lack a lot of structure. The role that I had that I stepped away from, I was kind of the smart guy. I was the resource. I helped other people out a lot. I got a lot of recognition for being helpful or being useful. And I don't get a lot of that now. And while it's nice to be free of a lot of the constraints and the pressures and things like that, there's not a lot of that structure. Similarly, when I was working full-time, if I got sick, I would stay home. And a workday and a sick day felt very different. But this last week, I just didn't feel good, but I was still here like I was the day before and the day before that. And it just felt really weird. And I've mentioned this before, but I just had this like tremendous guilt over being unproductive. And I've also mentioned this before, but I really struggle with the importance of rest. And I think personally, I've confused creative hobbies with relaxation. When I was working full-time and I had a day off, I would play Minecraft and make videos, try to write some music. Just didn't have enough time to do all of the creative things. And now that I do have the time, those things are important, but they're not rest. And in reflection, I think it's really clear why I was getting so worn down and so burnt out is because between work and hobbies, there literally was no rest happening. And so I gave myself permission this last week to just rest. A couple of days where I didn't feel good, I slept in and I just basically did nothing. And it felt weird because I had these things I wanted to accomplish that were here. You know, it's not like I wasn't going to work. It's like these things are literally sitting on the table or on my desk. But I had to choose not to engage with them. Don't do any of that, just relax. So it's weird after working 40 years, 15 years at my last job, full-time every day, and then stepping away from that, there's a tremendous amount of identity that kind of goes away with that. And any sort of structure has to be self-imposed. And I don't really have a schedule, but I have an intention. I have a little bit of a flow that I like to stick to every day where, I get up at a reasonable time, I eat something, I meditate, I go for a walk, come back home and do something productive, creative, get tasks done, do something as far as a hobby, usually eat lunch, do something else creative. I'll have dinner after that, and then after dinner, turn on YouTube, watch TV, that sort of thing. Before bed, I will relax a little bit, do some reading or meditating, and then go to bed at a reasonable time. And reflecting back, I found that when I can do that, I feel pretty good about the day. I feel like I did something. But the days where I don't do that, or where I don't feel good and I kind of get off track, they feel really bad. So that's what I'm kind of wrestling with. So going forward, I'm going to re-engineer my focuses a little bit. Now that that batch of music is done, I'll probably start a new musical project. I had said before that I wanted to do some rock, guitar-oriented music like I used to, and I was listening to some of my old music that I did 30 years ago, and I realized that while some of it's pretty cool, the thing that sort of turned me off was the playing live part. It was super fun back then, but it was a lot of work as well. A lot of politics, a lot of organization, a lot of late nights, and I just don't think I'm in the mood to tackle that part of it. And that's fine. I think though the thing that has kind of steered me away from that type of music was I felt that I needed to engage in the culture that sort of surrounded it as well. So anyway, new music project. Second thing, now that the space cats are done, I think I want to do another batch of these tiny paintings. And there's a couple of websites where you can sell these. They don't sell for a lot, but some people collect paintings that are this size. And they'll pay a couple bucks each, that kind of thing. But I was thinking that would be a fun thing to do, is just put them out there and see if anybody is interested. And then I think the third thing, I'm going to continue doing the tarot card a day, doing a tarot card spread for myself every week, and then try and do some for friends. See what they think, get feedback, that sort of thing. In addition to all of that, of course, trying to be a little more active, trying to eat a little better, trying to be more mindful. Just now with the more time, it feels like I should be able to slot some of these things in. I have more flexibility with my time, so I should be able to cook more. See if I can figure that out. And lastly, I just need to figure out how to relax, how to rest, and let myself off the hook for not focusing on a project all the time. So that's that. I will leave a link down in the description for where you can check these out, and I will see you next week.